Alright guys, welcome back to the show and to tonight's Tactica and list buildings, bit of a sit and talk. I just want to talk about the new unit that I've just added to my army, which is the Myphitic Blight Haulers. So I bought these, I think it was like 105 bucks for the three of them. They're the Snap Fit kit. I don't know if GW made more than one kit, but this is the kit I got, and you can't change their weapons anyway, so I don't know what you'd do with another kit. But anyway, so I just finished painting these up. Quick look at the models. As you can see, they've come up pretty cool. Focus, my friend. It's not very good, but there we go. That's what it looks like. Got some teeth, bit of purple and green, rotting flesh underneath, all grossed out. Got the tracks and whatnot. And obviously this is the last one. So they're pretty much identical. I was sort of looking at what I could do to mix them up a little bit pose wise. But they're kind of one of those models that just is what it is. So that's the three of them. The unit comes in at about 350 points now because they had a massive points drop, which is about, I think before they were about near the 150, whereas now they're a lot lower. So they're about 450 for a unit of three, now they're about 350. What do they come with? Weapons, well, across the board, you know, they're really quick. They've got a weapon skill and ballistic skill of 4. But one of the rules is, and the reason why I've put 3 of them is they get +1 ballistic skill if there's 3 in a unit, which bumps them up to 3 pluses to hit. Near a Demon Prince or something, you get reroll 1s. That's actually making them pretty accurate at that point. So they've got a missile launcher, multi-melta, and a BILE SPURT, and a gnashing more. So obviously missile launcher is a missile launcher, and a multi-melta is a multi-melta. So these aren't plague weapons or anything like that, they're your normal Space Marine weapons. BILE SPURT is a plague weapon, which is, it's not bad. It's assault D3, strength 6, AP 1, damage 1, and it's plague weapon. It's range 12. I like it. It's very what do you call it? Like Swiss Army knife. So it's got anti-tank capabilities. It's got range as well with its missile launcher. It's got close combat ability. Yeah, it's got a few good things, and it's tough. Demon save, tough 7. Disgustingly resilient, 8 wounds. Doesn't reduce stat line across the board, which is really good. You get the putrescent fog, which, as you can see with these guys, when you got them in a unit, I'll be able to make a pretty big bubble, giving me cover to my infantry units. I run a fair few poxwalkers, so it's not going to buff them super hugely, but that's alright. Against small arms, fire a 6 up and a 5 up might save an extra few of them, which is not bad in my books. And then me Plague Marines running near them will have 2 up save, so they'll essentially be 1 wound Terminators. The other thing they got is obviously the tri-tract. They can move and fire without suffering any penalties, which is really good to the advance. Like, I always really like to push my Deathguard forward, like everything, the tanks, the Death Spitter, like everything in the army, just push it all forward because it's really tough and resilient, and just sort of pressure your enemy in that way. And then the foul stench. So if you do get in combat, it's -1 for the enemy to hit, and they get 3 attacks apiece. They can hit up 4, but if you got all 3 of them in there, you know, they're half decent with their gnashing more, which is a plague weapon, -2, strength 6 us. They're pretty much power axes, essentially, a little bit stronger. So that's not bad. So that's kind of 9 power axe attacks in combat would probably be the way I would look at it, but it's a plague weapon, so re-rolling 1s to wound. You can stack that with like certain warlord traits, which could give you full re-rolls to wound. You know, if you had a Demon Prince running up near them and you gave them that ability, their BILE SPURT and their gnashing maw would both have that. So that's a pretty brief overall stat line of them. Model wise, I love the look of them. I love the fact that they've taken all these Nurgle demons and like they've sort of rounded them, I guess you could say, giving them a very unique look. Yeah, it's cool. I'm really Really liking the models. I've been running a Land Raider in the list. I'm hoping to fill that void with these guys for a few games because they're around about the same points and see how it goes. I think these guys, I guess between them with 24 wounds, they got an invulnerable save and disgustingly resilient. So it'll be interesting to see how they run. I've been watching some other videos too. There's some demons you can run, and because these come under demons, you can actually regenerate models. So that's something I'll be looking at doing in the future. Alright, so we'll have a look now at the 1500 point army overall, which is a little bit different to the other week, and I'll talk about what I'm going to be doing with them next. And here is what the army looks like with the 3 Myphitic Blight Halls in it. So what you're looking at here comes in at 1500 points, so a little bit of swap around. One thing I'll say I'm 100% happy with this army is every single model in this is the new Deathguard models from 8th edition. So from the HQs, I forgot his name again. Anyway, this guy. One day I'll remember his name permanently. You know, the Poxwalkers, Plague Marines, the new tanks, so the Burst Crawler and the 2 Fetid Bloat Drones. It's cool because I really wanted to actually, as much as I love the Land Raider, at this point I wanted to have it all the new models and just have it look that, you know, I guess new cool models. Alright, so tactic wise, adding these in and a few different changes from the battle report that was on the other day. I've dropped the Demon Prince and obviously dropped the Land Raider and put in the Myphitic Blight launchers. HQ wise, I've dropped the Prince and replaced it with TYPHUS. This is the converted version. I haven't bought TYPHUS obviously because I just can't bring myself to do it. I own the old TYPHUS model, but he looks a bit small in the army, and this is, you know, this is cool. I've got about, anyone who plays Deathguard's probably got a fair few of this model. I could probably nearly make a unit of Terminators out of it. That might be a good idea. So I kept him in, and what I'm going to do is run him up with the 2 15-man units Poxwalkers, which is going to buff them to Tough 4 with his special rules. And then I want to give him the 2 Psychic powers, and he's going to actually focus on buffing these 2 units. So he's going to give Miasma or Pestilence to 1 to subtract 1 to hit him, so make it hard to hit him, and then give Putrescent Vitality to the other. So he'll be buffing him to Tough 4. 1 unit he'll be buffing to Tough 5, Strength 5, and the other unit he'll be buffing to have -1 to hit. So either way, it should hopefully make him a bit more survivable. With the Myphitic Blight Halls nearby, that's also possibly going to give him a cover save, you know, against small arms fire like bolters and stuff like that. Harder to wound and still getting a save, plus he's disgustingly resilient. Hopefully I'll keep him around a bit longer just to get him into combat so they can start eating people and regenerating. Now, I did say I was going to drop these Plague Marines, but here they are back in the list because in last game, like, they did all get smoked, but they made a really good push up the field with their high toughness and smoked some key things with their plasma guns and stuff. And I want to give them one more run, utilising them with the Myphitic Blight Halls and just see if, you know, giving them that cover while they're moving up the battlefield will make much difference, or maybe it won't. I don't know. We'll see. So they're the 3 troops choices. So I like to think that in this list I've got a good amount of troops. 30 Poxwalkers and lucky number 7 Plague Marines. Now, second in the HQ, I'm going to go for the now I've forgotten this guy's name. This is getting really bad. I need to read my codex more. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to look this guy's name up, because I'm not going to forget any more names. That's a lie, I'm going to forget more names. The Malignant Plague Cast, that's it. They've got such long and drawn out names. Now with him, I'm going to make him the Warlord. I'm thinking of giving him the Suffocating Plate and possibly Disgustingly Resilient, or Arch Contaminator, I think it is. The one that lets you re-roll plague weapons, depending on the situation. I haven't come to that conclusion yet. But Psychic Power wise, I want to go with him just all purely attacking. So I'm going to have TYPHUS because he's slow like the zombies, going up with them. He's going to be buffing them. And then I'm going to have the Malignant Plague Caster just on an actually, I guess, like a psychic attack roll. So what I wanted to give him was Plague Wind and I think it's Plague Wind. No, Curse of the Leper. Yeah, it was Plague Wind and Curse of the Leper. So he'll also have his power that everybody gets. But they're the two I want to give him out of this book. And hopefully, just Curse of the Lepers seems pretty cool. If you're playing against Marines or Guardsmen, you know, rolling 7 dice and anything above their toughness, doing a permanent wound on them is really good. And then obviously Plague Wind for really big units like Orcs or something. Every unit roll, and if you roll a 6, you do a mortal wound. So kind of going to use him as a mortal wound delivery base. And then obviously Smite, you know, just if you need to do your basic D3 mortal wounds. So that's going to be his role, and hopefully with the 2-up saver to sort of keep him alive, if I keep him behind some things and that he's going to be on the attack roll. The Plague Burst Crawler, you've watched the battle reports. If you follow the channel, you know what I do with that thing. I jam it in people's faces and melt stuff, and once I get it to that center board, I just kind of have it as that center controlling piece, flaming things and bombarding things and whatnot. That's how I like to use it. I do have a second one which I'm still building, which will possibly make it into the list at some point. You know, the Plague Drones, fantastic. Every battle report, they've just shone. It doesn't matter which battle report, whether they're just absorbing shots, killing things, they're brilliant. They're probably my favourite unit so far that I use, but it'll be interesting to see with the Myphitic Blight Hauler. So if we look at the list overall, it's kind of going to be just a massive push forward into the enemy, because all vehicles I've designed them to move forward. These will give me a little bit of range in those early stages with their rocket launchers, depending on the setup of the battlefield, so I can get a few shots off. Obviously everything else will just advance up the board and charge towards the enemy. Tank, covered that. And as I said, really want to try TYPHUS out, keep these Poxwalkers alive. The combination of him, them and that. After last battle, just things like getting mortars and that dropped on them and wounding them on 3s as opposed to having to wound them on 4s, I think will make a big difference. As I said, bolt guns as well. If one unit's tough 5, bolt guns and small arms fire, even heavy bolters are going to have to wound them on a 4, and the other one's going to be a -1 to hit. That's the plan. Obviously psychic powers don't always go off, but you got to build your list and core around something that you're trying to work towards. So I think by dropping the Land Raider, adding these Myphitic Blight Haulers in with their new tactics will change it as well, because the other thing too is they can also join in on the assault if I need be. So like things like the drones and these, everything in the army, probably besides this thing, well, it probably can assault if you want, still ram it in there and flame it, but can actually get in and help out in the assault if needed to dig people out of some trenches and that. So that's where the army's at the moment. Let me know if you want to see them on the battlefield or not. We've got game night tomorrow night. I haven't decided what army I'm playing with. If you want to see this on the battlefield, drop it in the comments and I'm happy to play with them. If you want to see another army, drop it in the comments. If you got any feedback about the tactics or the list building that I've done here, paint job, anything like that, I'm happy to hear about it, happy to discuss it. But as far as I'm concerned, really happy with how the army's looking paint-wise, battle-wise, and it's going alright on the channel, I think. So if you like this channel, give us a like and a subscribe, and I'll keep painting and adding to this army, and I'll talk to you later.